Hello, hello to my replay viewers. Hi there, this is Dr. Jana. I'm a sex researcher, professor of human sexuality at NYU, and your regular daily scoper on things related to sexual health, sex ed, sex science. And today, I have something special for you. I am going to be chatting with Mistress Xmas, or Megan, who is one of my followers here on Periscope. She comes into my scopes and we chat about all sorts of things. And she is into the BDSM lifestyle, and so she agreed graciously to talk to me about it. You're excited for this? Awesome. Hi, Lori. Welcome, Dee. Just finished my last scope on replay, and now you're seeing me live. Yes. Uh, SMLEL, please no follow me girls only in my scopes, okay? All right. Hi, Chubzer. Iman is here. Awesome. So if you think this is going to be fun and interesting for other people, hi, Nia, please take a moment to invite your followers. So swipe left to right on iOS, swipe up on Android, and invite followers, or just press that Perry Buddy in the corner and bring more people in, because I think this is fascinating. So BDSM, or bondage, discipline, domination, submission, sadism, masochism, is something that people have been really asking about quite a bit. It was one of the most frequent requests on my survey of my audience that I did. And so I thought, well, here you go, from someone who's had a lot of years of experience that she can talk about BDSM. I'm hot. Why, thank you. I'm glad you find me hot. I appreciate all the hearts, by the way. Okay, you are going to get blocked, dude. Sorry. So, are there any people who are new to me, who don't know me and don't know what we're doing here? Say new and your name so I can welcome you and explain who I am. I'd like a mistress for Christmas. Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll get that for a gift. Legal issues with hosting a party. We can talk about sex parties some other time. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Christopher. Detroit is new. Excellent. Chubzer is not new. He's one of our regulars. So, heart it up, guys. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all the hearts. So, for those of you who are new and don't know me, Crystal is sort of new. Ganjalina recommended me. Awesome. I love Ganjalina. God, I haven't seen her in a couple of days. So I hope you stick around. I do. So my name is Dr. Jana. I'm a sex researcher. I study casual sex, non-monogamy, sexual orientation. I teach human sexuality at New York University. So I'm based here in New York City. And I do daily scopes on things related to sexual health, sex ed, sex science. I do interviews like this with people with interesting, sort of unusual, or just, some sort of sexual lifestyles and interests and desires that I think would be good for you to hear. I am a doctor. I'm a PhD kind of doctor. I'm not a medical kind of doctor. So I have a PhD in developmental psychology. And all right, so that's who I am. And today we're talking to Mistress Xmas, who is whose handle is in the title of the scope, so you can go and check her out. All right, I'm too hot to be a doctor. All right, everyone. So I'm going to. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, is sound back? Is the sound back? Okay, it's back. Sorry. The sound, there's something with the sound. Okay. All right, good. We're good to go. All right. Hi again.
Hello again.
Can you all hear Mistress Megan? I'll call you Megan because Mistress Xmas is a little long. Is that
Yeah, it takes a little time to say, doesn't it?
okay, you can hear her? Excellent. All right. So, hi and welcome, and thank you so much for doing this interview.
Well, I've been excited to do this, so this should be interesting.
Yes. It's Megan with just an E, not EA. Yes. They're asking
Yes.
about the spelling. So, the way I've been doing this is kind of, I have a few questions for you that I shared with you, and then the audience, obviously, you can all ask questions. My idea for how to go about this is to ask about some background information, talk about, Megan's sort of specific BDSM style or preference, how she got into this, and some challenges that she may have faced and that kind of stuff. So if new people come in and keep asking the same questions, please, for those of you who are going to stay in here and stay for the whole time, answer their questions, so we don't have to ask Megan over and over again about the same stuff. Cool. Awesome. All right. So tell us a little bit about you. Where you're from, how old you are, what you do, where in the world you are.
Well, I was born in Canada and moved here when I was a kid, like 9 years old, and grew up, and I don't know, somewhere around 30 years old, was introduced to a friend who sort of does the BDSM thing for a living. And she decided one night to give me a call and said, "Let's go to the club. I have to work on somebody." So I sort of just went along thinking, well, this is going to be really humorous. And actually found that it was really sort of unique and different. So I ended up getting involved that way. So watching her a few times, I decided, well, maybe I should try this from a submissive standpoint, and we played. Unfortunately, though, my first experience was really horrible, and it took me a few years to come back and try again. And the reason why is well, I had some emotional baggage, meaning sexual abuse as a child and physical abuse. And the first time we played, after about 15 minutes, I just broke down crying and couldn't deal with it anymore. Mm-hmm. So, working through the issues, I eventually came back and tried again.
How long did it take you in between?
Yeah, and it was way better. And so I did that for a little bit, and as we would go to the clubs, we would sort of switch off a little bit. I would sort of follow her and do what she was doing, and eventually learn to be dominant out of the deal. And now I'm pretty much dominant most of the time. I only submissive to one person, my dom, and that's sort of where I am now.
Yeah, you are. Your dom is actually here or there with you, right?
Yes, he is.
maybe we can see him a little bit on camera in a little bit if he wants to go on.
We'll see.
They're saying you look like a cute grandma. Interesting. Grandma does BDSM.
I knew that was coming. I warned you.
Well, I know, but I mean, people of all ages do BDSM, right?
That's exactly right.
And so, people of all ages have sex in all the different ways that people have sex. So, your hair is gorgeous. I'm reading some of the comments. Even grandmas need to have a healthy sex life. Absolutely, absolutely. I wish more people of this age really did that and talked about it, and I wish it was more normalized, right? Glad to see she's a regular person, says.
No, not even close.
Yeah. You don't know what's hiding beneath that cute little, hair and face. Band name, the Mistress Dom. Yeah, so, Oh, and where are you now? Where do you live now?
I'm in Berkeley.
In San Francisco. Cool. Yeah. What is BDSM? BDSM stands for bondage, discipline, domination, submission, sadism, masochism. So now, and that's actually a good place to ask, what is your sort of type of BDSM? So as I said, BDSM can stand for all of these different things, and each of those things can have so many different sort of types of activities and things. And so what is it that you're into?
Well, first, I'm not into sadomasochism. For me, I don't require pain to be stimulated or to have an orgasm. I'm definitely into the BD part, and for me, it's really a sensation-oriented activity and quite stimulating, whether I'm being a dom or being a sub. So it's very different depending on which way I'm playing that night.
What do you mean by sensation?
Well, obviously we use toys to play, whether it be floggers or cuffs, blindfolds. The amount of toys and variety are quite endless, and each one provides a different sensation, and along with that sensation is an intensity. And that intensity can be really nice, or it can be really, really awful. Right. So it just depends on how you use the toy.
Mm-hmm. How did you get comfortable enough, someone's asking, to try BDSM again after that bad first experience?
I think for me, I hadn't really dealt with the fact that I was sexually abused. And it really didn't even hit me until I was playing. And so it really was my first realization that it wasn't my fault, that kind of thing. And so with a little work and help from a shrink, I managed to get to the point where, while I still hate what happened to me,
right.
It was okay to move on.
Right. So some therapy helped.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend, if you have emotional baggage, that you work through it before you start to play.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Dee is here. So one of my first interviewees was a woman who was sexually abused as a child, Segun Jovi, and I know she's going to agree. She's a great proponent of getting therapy and working through it that way. So what about before you were 30? Like, what was your sort of sexual experience or lifestyle before you discovered this?
Well, I've been pretty much openly bisexual as far back as I can remember. But I never really thought of kinky play whatsoever. I wasn't really introduced to it until I had met my friend, who was a professional dom. So, and she was just wonderful, and it just made it a desirable thing to learn after watching. Yeah. Would you say that you were kind of highly sexual and very sexually curious before that? Was it? Yeah, well, I say probably because, I mean, I really just feel like everybody is worth looking at.
Nice.
So whether they're male or female, I'm attracted both ways.
Right. Have you ever done it professionally or just for personal pleasure? Ask.
Yeah, I did about 3 years professionally, and it's very different from playing for fun. It's a little more intense. The people that are hiring me are usually more serious players, more pain-oriented than playing. And for me, playing, I rarely play privately. We always play publicly in clubs or that kind of environment, events. So it's very different.
Okay, Flaco Power, please stop asking if you can try BDSM. Okay, we're not using my scopes to find people to hook up with. Okay. Someone, or I'll block you. How often do you go to events?
Well, and prior to me getting sick, we used to go weekly. So we were pretty much every weekend we'd be at the clubs. Yeah.
It's a lot of partying.
It is a lot of partying, a lot of demos.
Right, right. Oh, someone was asking, how much does that kind of a job pay? The pro dom.
Well, I mean, this was really long time ago, and I would do sessions that were 4 hours long, $300 an hour.
4 hours long, $300 an hour.
Right.
Nice. It's a nice change.
And that was back in early 90s.
Wow. That takes a lot of guts to do in public. And someone else is asking why only in public? Why do you only play in public?
Well, it's most of the clubs that we play at are just open to the general public. Some of the clubs that we go to are related, and events that we go to are related to a group out here called the Society of Xmas, which is a BDSM organization. And they hold events, weekly munches, and usually have a monthly party that is open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's all really pretty much public.
Right. Why not private kind of play?
Well, I mean, I do, but most of what we do is we go to the clubs.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit of both.
Right.
Right.
Someone was asking how long you've been in your with your current partner. How long has that relationship been going on?
Well, I've been with my Don since, I don't know, was it like early 90s?
20 years.
Yeah, about 20 some odd years, exactly.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Can we see him? Can he come and say hi to people?
Do you want to be seen?
Sure, why not?
Oh, he's coming.
All right, you get to see Megan's dom and partner. Oh, you need to come closer. This is okay. Hold on. There we go. Hi there. Someone
This
say
is Charles.
Hmm?
This is Charles.
Charles.
Also known as the Ruthless.
The Ruthless. Oh boy.
Yes. And he can be pretty ruthless, especially to me.
They're saying hi. Great dom voice. Someone said.
Thanks.
Do you have any questions for Charles, the Ruthless? You want to say hi to? So how did that happen? So you're saying you're mostly dominant with everyone except Charles. Why Charles?
Well, I did start as a submissive to my female friend that taught me all this, and we were going to the clubs, and that's where I met Charles, was at the club.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, we just sort of got along, and it became a thing.
Charles, how long have you been doing this? How did you get into it?
I started working pro about age 20.
Wow.
And I've been in and out of that scene forever. But I was tying people up in elementary school. I mean, I've been doing this my entire life.
Yeah, you even do it to dolls, right? We have some doll, little cute little. Do you have them nearby?
Yeah, let me go get a couple of them.
Oh, no.
They're adorable. He ties up.
Cute.
He ties
This
up
all
these.
started from the events that we do, so we would, in order to get new people to come and try, we would give away either flowers or little stuffed animals that were tied up in bondage.
You see that?
That's pretty crazy. It's like a little Tasmanian devil.
That's hilarious. Oh, the blindfolded. What is that? What kind of
It's a
animal is
kitty
that?
cat.
It's a cat. Taz has been a bad, bad boy. Yes.
We
Oh,
look nuts.
adorable. It's adorable. Do you have any kids? Are you in love?
No kids. Never have. I mean,
No
and
kids.
just Megan.
Yep. Open relationship. Is it an open relationship? Do you play with other people, men, women? How does that work?
We both play with other people, but I am also married to another woman.
Oh.
So our relationship is truly just as Dom sub.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. They're very confused. They're like, wait, what? Plot twist.
I sprung a surprise.
Yeah. So you're married to another woman. Do you live with her?
Yep.
You live with her. Okay.
It's like,
Then the plot thickens. So that's why it's... sorry, I'm trying to read a lot of the comments. People are still a little confused. And Charles, do you have other long-term partners? Are you married?
Not married, no. I have played with other people.
he's played with a lot of other people.
Yeah, that would be an understatement. Especially doing demos.
We do all the events together for the most part, so...
Is your wife into the lifestyle?
No, actually, she's actually come to the clubs and seen what I do, but she is not into it at all.
Okay, interesting. So you
Yeah.
only have sort of a vanilla kind of sex relationship?
Pretty much.
Is any of you transsexual? There's a question, someone was asking that a number of times.
Pardon?
Is any of you transsexual?
I don't know. Are you?
No.
No, I don't. Should I show you my penis?
Well, we can't. We're going to get banned.
Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. You know how it works. Just send me a dick pic,
Okay,
privately. Second
We
plot.
saw the eggplant the other day.
Yeah, the eggplant was pretty hilarious. Thanks, Honest Bachelor, yeah. Okay, all right. Let's get back. I like these people, they're awesome. Awesome, I'm glad you're liking. Yes, she is kidding. She is kidding. I don't think she has a penis. I mean, she might have
No.
a strap on.
Last time I looked, there was no penis.
No, okay.
Yeah, that would surprise him.
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 25 years.
25 years. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wife okay with her dom? I assume so.
Yep, he's here all the time.
The wife does not participate in the scene. No. So people are asking examples of your play. Like, give us maybe run us through sort of what a scene would look like.
Well, for me, I'm probably a little odd. I sort of have some specialties that I particularly favor, which are temporary play piercings.
Play piercings.
I like fire,
Mm.
and I love electricity,
Mm.
and rope work, floggings,
Nice.
all of it. Pretty much all of it.
Okay, so you're gonna have to explain some of these for the people. Okay, we're gonna go through each of those. So explain play piercings first.
Play piercings typically will consist of using syringe needles and doing subcutaneous through the arms, through the breasts, the back, all over. And then you can weight them to apply a little tension. So that's what play piercings are about for me. There are regular piercings that people do, but I only do the temporary play piercings with syringe needles.
Yes, it's needle play, yes.
Yes.
She's so badass, someone's saying.
Yeah.
I think she's pretty badass, yeah. Okay, so I thought it was a freak. This lady, I thought it was a freak. This lady puts me to shame, says Jen the Sweet. Well, I'm glad we can provide that feeling of normalness to all you. Okay, how about fire play? Can you explain fire play a little bit?
Fire play is dangerous. Don't ever try this at home. I use a mixture of alcohol and water, and I will use like a swab and wipe it on a person's back and light it on fire. And I will put it out before it burns. So it's usually a nice warm sensation, and you never let it burn down to the skin. Well, you can, but most people prefer not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire play. People are like, oh my God, that's crazy. So nice. Heat and psychological play. Yes. Wow. Ouch. Wow. Interesting. One I haven't heard of. Yeah. How old are you? Oh, yeah. We didn't tell people actually how old are you. Do you feel comfortable sharing that? 59. Were you both hippies in the 60s?
Sort of.
No.
No, Charles, you weren't?
No.
70s, really.
In the 70s, yeah. How do you know the boundaries of not physically harming the people that you dom?
That takes a lot of time, communication, training, but mostly communication. You really have to be really aware of who you're working on and what their limits are. You really need to negotiate everything before you start playing. Yeah, safety is really paramount for me. I don't ever hurt anybody, ever.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Oh my God, there's a bunch of questions that came up that I wanted to address. Is there actually sex involved or just teasing? Please ask them again if I missed them.
Well, I mean, there is sexual stimulation, whether it be through the toy or sometimes touching. But I don't actually have intercourse with any of my subs.
You don't have intercourse with any of your subs?
No.
Do you with Charles?
No.
Interesting. Okay. What do you do for a living?
Me? I'm retired.
What did you used to do?
I owned a software company.
Okay. Charles?
My standard answer is I work for the government. I'm here to help you and trust me.
That's okay. That's all we need to know. Someone was asking, did either of you have some body issues that you needed to work through when you were starting out with this?
Well, yeah, I think most women have body issues at some point in their life, whether it's weight or just self-esteem issues. But you work through it.
Did BDSM help with that, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think so in my case.
Okay.
I think it was just something I had to work through.
Right.
Yeah.
Is any of you interested in wax and candle?
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Good fun.
Oh, sure.
Good fun.
There you go. So Vilmut is slightly confused. You say you're not into sadism and masochism, but you're into needle and fire play.
Yeah, but I don't require pain in order to be sexually aroused or to have an orgasm.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, electricity. We didn't cover electricity. So what is electricity play?
For me, it's using a violet wand. It's basically a Tesla coil, which I connect to my body. And then when I touch a person, they get zapped. And the intensity can be really extreme, or it can feel like a wonderful massage, like a vibrator.
So this isn't about orgasm, someone's asking.
No.
Well, it can be. It depends on who you're working with and, whether you arouse the sub that you're working on.
What else can it be aside from orgasm?
Well, it's obviously all about sensation.
Yeah. Okay, I again missed a bunch of questions, but please ask again if I missed that. Someone says it's a great stress reliever, I bet. Yeah. Were you out to people? Are you out to people? How did that happen? Did you have to deal with a lot of stigma around it?
For me, most people know. Some people don't. My parents do not know. I think my mother would probably get a good laugh out of it. My father would probably not understand, but most of my friends know. My sisters know, or some of my sisters know.
Right, you have 3. Did you have to deal with a lot of stigma?
I don't know. You want to answer?
It depends. Due to the nature of my work, I have to be a lot more careful.
Right.
I'm in the public's eye and all. There are people at work who know what I do. At this point, quite a few of them do. At one time, there was a lot of stigma involved. After, now not so much. But there still is a lot of misunderstanding about the whole BDSM world.
Right.
It's still too much of the, people in leather and strange stuff that isn't necessarily the entire lifestyle.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I actually sort of go against the grain for most of the people in the BDSM community, which often seem to dress in extravagant wear, and I do just the opposite.
With some of the hardcore people who I've known, we find the people who wear the fetish wear, they tend to call them standard model. Because the clothing is so restrictive, especially for women. You can't do anything.
Right.
You can't move,
Right.
you can't walk. You can just stand here and look like a Barbie doll.
Yeah, it's nice to look at, but it's not very functional.
Yeah, and then the leather is, hot, and you have to dry clean it.
Right, right. So there's a lot of talk about safe words. So can you explain what safe words are? What would be some good safe words? And how do you safe word when you can't talk?
Well, typically, most people, when they start out, it's just red, yellow, and green. Red meaning absolutely stop everything immediately. Yellow meaning this is too intense, we should slow down. And green meaning this is really good and maybe a little bit more intense. So that's a good place to start. A lot of people just pick their own words, but usually have the same kind of meanings.
What do you do when, how do you safe word when you can't talk?
Well, then you have to either work out a signal that's physical, that can be recognized, or hopefully if you're in that shape anyway, if you're completely bound and can't do anything, that your dom knows you well enough to know when you've reached your limits. So,
Right.
yeah.
Are you sober when you do this? Someone's saying, I can't imagine being sober during this.
Yeah, definitely. I would not ever recommend anybody play while on drugs or alcohol. that's just a bad idea all the way around. You have no idea what your sensations really are. They can just be muted so radically that you could get hurt without knowing it. So,
right, yeah. Unlike the sort of the regular party scene where there's a lot of alcohol and drugs involved. My understanding is that the vast majority of BDSM parties are pretty sober because it's important. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, you are playing with fire, pun intended. So you want to be sober, right, when you're doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What? We're losing Charles for the time being. Okay.
I think we broke his back.
Oh. Okay. Well, he can come back if he wants to. Yes, you can't consent if you're intoxicated. That's a good point. And you can't know what if something is being taken to a whole new level. Okay. Let's talk about 50 Shades. There's a bunch of 50 Shades questions going. What's your take on it? How do you think it's affected things?
Well, I don't really know what to think about it. It really has almost nothing to do with reality in the BDSM community. The movie has literally nothing in it. And the books do cover some basics, such as safe words and tying people up, but generally speaking, it's so tame.
Yeah.
It doesn't really qualify as much more than, I don't know what to call it.
It's BDSM light, right? It's kind of for beginners.
Light, yeah, it's definitely more sex than any kind of bondage or discipline, so.
Let's pull the room. Did you like the book or the movie more? Say book or movie, and then we'll ask Megan whether she agrees. Book, books, movie, book, neither. Never read or watched, book, neither. Okay, so of those of you who did watch and or read the book wins, it seems.
Yeah, the book has definitely got more involved than the movie ever did. The movie just literally threw away the whole subject matter. Turned it into a romance.
Right. What do you think about its impact, sort of more broadly, sociological impact?
Well, I think what's happening is that more people are asking questions. They do exactly what they just did. They want to know how it relates to reality.
The problem I've seen whenever a film like that comes out, and there have been a few in the past, is it can get real dangerous for a while for the participants, because you get people who suddenly think because they've been online or they may have read a book, are now the next great dom that knows everything.
Right.
They have no experience, and they get in way over their head, and people get hurt, injured,
Yeah, I would highly recommend for anybody that wants to start out and maybe experience a little bit of this. A good place to go would be FetLife.com. You can find brunches in your area, munches, and then you can meet up with like-minded people. You can learn a lot from them. You can learn how and who to trust, which is really important. So,
yeah, FetLife.
On the East Coast, you have Black Rose.
Black Rose, yes.
Very similar to Janet's on the West Coast. They can then direct you to groups similar to theirs in that area. And there are groups like Janet's or Black Rose over most of the U.S.
Right. Yes. FetLife is great, but only so much as you go to the munches. I mean, there's parties, there's sort of connections with people. What are munch? Okay. Yeah, munches, of course. What is a munch? What's a munch?
A munch? Oh, well, that's just a group of people that go to a cafe and they have coffee and talk.
Right, exactly. So it's a non-sex party for kinky people, kind of like-minded. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, what other questions do you want to ask Megan and Charles? Oh, are you seeing a lot more newbies now that 50 Shades have happened? Do you see more people kind of coming to the parties or the events?
There's more people that are curious. I don't know if there's actually more people trying it. I don't know. I have no idea what the statistics would be.
Yeah.
But I don't really see it other than curiosity from the movie or books.
Right. Munches are a great way to meet people. Yes, they talk about munches. So what advice would you give to someone who might want to explore? Yeah, any advice for newbies? What to start experimenting with? How to talk to a partner? Is spanking or hair pulling considered BDSM?
Yes. Yeah? Yes.
Sure. It's really nice. Try it. Really, try it once or twice.
It's really nice. So what would you recommend to newbies?
Well, if you are a couple, I think you can play at home endlessly without having to spend a penny on toys. There are so many things you can use around the house to play. I mean, starting with a simple spanking is a wonderful way to start, and extremely intimate. So, but if you're an individual, I would suggest really starting with the munches or with the groups, meeting people that way.
Hair pulling and spanking, the gateway sex.
It certainly is.
Charles, anything to add?
If you're going to get into bondage, get a fairly decent rope. I mean, I usually get it at the hardware store. Wash it before you use it. Use a lingerie bag. Throw it in the laundry. Because you never know what's on the rope before you get it. And when you start putting it on people's bare skin, you don't know, could have been laying next to a bunch of concrete.
Yeah, cleanliness of toys, especially if they're going to be touching areas that could be sensitive, is a good idea to have clean toys.
Right.
Places to pick up toys at the dollar store. Spatulas. I had a friend of mine used to use little frying pan spatulas. Clothespins.
Mm-hmm.
Clothespins are really good.
Belts.
Belts.
Belts, sure.
One thing I've done is I used to do a thing called the cut down scene, and I'd go to Goodwill, Salvation Army, someplace like that at a thrift store, buy a bunch of clothes for my partner, make sure it's really washed. If it's white, I'd bleach it, the life out of it. So we'd go in and we'd go to play, and I would rip their clothes off, which can always be fun. And everybody freaks out when you suddenly grab somebody's blouse and rip it off their body. And we'd have things in there like she'd go, "Oh my God, how am I going to get home? How am I going to catch the bus home? It's my only clothes. This is my husband's father's boyfriend's favorite shirt." Get some that stuff in there. And it can be really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bit of a mindfuck. Nice. People are loving the 99-cent store ideas of pervertibles and BDSM on a budget.
I've made spreader bars using a cane I got from a 99-cent store, and a couple of pieces of dowel and a couple of eye hooks.
He is quite big on making toys.
I make toys. I braid floggers and all sorts
he makes big toys too. He makes crosses, tables, you name it. So we have Instant Dungeon.
Instant Dungeon.
Well, I needed to make the prop or dungeon set pieces when we would do shows. Because some of the shows we did were pretty large, and we'd get maybe 100, 120 people through our booth in the course of an evening.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for 2 to 3 doms to be working at a time, so. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go back to basics. What's a flogger?
Flogger is, boy, it's probably easier to show. We want to grab one out of the spare room.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna see some toys. You want to see some toys? Yay!
Here's my toy bag.
Yeah, bring the toy bag. We can totally showcase some toys.
It's basically just a bunch of strands of leather held together with a handle. And they can be soft or they can be hard. They can sting or they can just feel like a nice massage.
Yeah, stingy or thuddy. Yes, that is the difference.
Exactly.
2 questions. Is it part of it acting and about contracts?
Acting, I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm not sure what they mean either. I'm guessing more like role play, maybe? Is that what you mean? Role play, yeah.
You certainly are role playing anytime you're playing either a dom or a submissive to a certain degree. And in the case of when we're in public doing events, it's almost performance art.
So there's a lot of sort of prepping, how the scene is going to unfold, what you're going to do in a scene, and that kind of stuff.
Very much so, especially if we're on stage. We've done resistance play where we are literally fighting. And you really have to choreograph that to a certain degree.
Right. Do you do contracts with your subs?
He's done contracts with his subs. I usually do all that verbally, just through questioning, talking with the person, getting to know them. I usually won't play with a person until I've known them for weeks at a time or more. This is
All right, we're getting to see some floggers.
This is a flogger, and it feels great.
Ooh.
Just made a string. These are really simple
I make
things.
those.
He makes this. It's just like, I don't even know, it looks like a bicycle handle.
Yeah.
Is that just string?
It is literally just string.
It frays up and it gets super, super soft once you get it to fray. I'll run a comb through it so the ends just get like
Furries. I like furries.
yeah. I have floggers that run from fur.
It's a little piece of fur, but it feels great. This is like more fun than humans should be allowed to have.
Oh my god, I love it more.
I have floggers that run from fur all the way up to real heavy belt leather, and some that are 100, 150 tails that are the heads of the floggers are about that big around.
Wow.
Yeah.
So toys come in every shape and size you can think of.
Right. Do you have an Etsy shop, Charles? Do you sell?
that? No.
do you-
No.
No.
No, I haven't got around to doing that yet. I'm somewhat technologically challenged.
So what do you do with the floggers? Someone's asking, do you just slide them across the body, or do you...
Well, this is like sort of like one of these kind of things.
That's what you do. There you go. Yes.
It depends how you want it to feel. The way you use a flogger on a person's body, how much you use with the initial impact, whether or not they're standing up or laying down, how hard, what kind of leather material. It varies from really soft and really light to almost tickly up to, oh, that felt good.
Right.
Yeah, all toys, really, you can go from any intensity that you want, from just it feeling really nice as you drag it across your skin to being extremely painful, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Charles is always doming Megan. Yes. Someone was
Yep,
asking
he's
that.
the only one that I allow to work on me.
Right. Do you teach any online classes? Someone asked earlier.
No, but I have considered doing some scopes to do demos, which will teach how to do like the plate piercings or the electricity of the fire. So
I've done some articles that I've put on a couple of websites. I need to redo several of them and bring them up to date so they don't sound so.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
No.
They're saying you should do it. You should scope,
Yeah.
you should broadcast, you should do something. Yes.
I have done classes at events and at sites. I haven't done anything online yet.
Right. Well, you can just,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you can film some of those things and just put them up online, yeah. How to bring it up with a partner? If you're interested in getting into it, how do you bring it up?
Wow. Well, I don't know. I think that would just depend on the person you're talking to. If you don't know the person you're talking to, then bringing up anything could be difficult. I think just being straightforward and honest is really a good policy. I mean, I'm sort of at the point in my life where I just say what I think and I don't worry about the reaction that I'm going to get.
Well, I'm open about what I am and who I am. Other than at my day job.
Right.
It's if you're not interested in getting into a BDSM or any type of that relationship, I'm not going to talk to you. If you're vanilla, I'll just steer away from you. I will, if I've got somebody who's new, I'll simply say, this is who and what I am. And if you're interested, that's fine. If you're not interested, that's fine too. It was nice knowing you, or we'll stay whatever friendship level it is. It's never going to go anywhere from there. I've had situations where people wanted to get into the scene, and they started in, and after being into it for 6 months to a year, they decided they weren't into it anymore, and they
Right.
said, I'm over, I'm done, goodbye.
Yeah, I've really only ever gotten together with people that I've known from either the clubs or through the groups, and really never have been approached by a stranger or have approached a stranger to talk about something. Usually, if I know somebody, I just go ahead and talk.
Right. Yeah, so don't start with extreme stuff, obviously, yes. If you're with someone new, start with something light, baby steps. That's what some people are talking about.
Definitely. Yeah, it's easy to go too far and then ruin it.
Any advice on the proper way to spank?
Wow. No, I actually have no advice on how to spank other than just spanking the person. I mean, it's always nice to have a good rub in between the spanks and increasing intensity as you go along because, you know, you sort of want to have a little roller coaster of sensation and intensity in this game.
I find if you cup your hand slightly, you get a much nicer pop or slap, kind of like when you clap your hand. If that's what you're looking for, if you want to make the more noise, a little more dramatic.
I think spanking is a pretty basic concept, really.
Yeah.
I mean, most people have either been spanked or have spanked somebody.
Oh my God! Thanks for inviting your followers, man. But we're probably kind of wrapping this up. She's got a lot of followers, and now a lot of new people are going to come in. So I'm going to do a little reintro in a second. But what was I going to say? There was a question there that I missed. What are your does Charles separate sex and BDSM the same way Megan does?
Yes. If I have clients, there's no sex at all. I mean, not as far as the intercourse goes. Girlfriends or partners, yeah, I'll do sex with them. But there's a real dividing line between what is personal life and what is professional life.
Right.
Yeah, really, professionally, we're not prostitutes. We're there to provide sensations related to bondage, discipline, kind of situation. We're not there for sex.
And with the number of STDs floating around, you really have to be careful, even with a partner. People will lie to you what their statuses are. I mean, even people you've been with or have known for quite a while will suddenly go, oh, by the way, did you know that I have ...
Yeah, I never trust anybody to
Yeah.
check or verify through testing.
I mean, I always wear gloves when I'm doing demos. If I'm going to have anything that's going to have skin-to-skin contact, I will probably have a set of gloves on.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of safety talk in the BDSM community, a lot more, I feel, than in pretty much any other sex community. For those of you who are joining us late, so I'm interviewing I was supposed to be interviewing only Megan, or Mistress Xmas, but we ended up interviewing her Dom, Charles, as well. Megan is not a client of Charles's, no, they've been Dom sub partners for 20 years, right?
Thereabouts.
Yeah. So, yes. Okay, any other questions for Charles and or Megan? Is Megan submissive and dominant or sub? Megan is dominant with pretty much everyone except Charles.
Exactly. I'm known as a switch.
Right.
That's when you play both sides of the game, so.
You never have sex together.
Not with Charles.
No.
Well,
Sort of.
sex is a relative term. We don't have intercourse.
Right. There's a lot of other sexual things going on.
There are. The toys themselves can stimulate in many wonderful ways.
This is so much. Yeah, go ahead.
I've had people who've orgasmed in zone just by me dragging my claws that I use across their back.
Damn.
I've had people black out, orgasm and pass out from a real simple flogging.
Yeah.
This can be very, very intense.
Yeah.
And I do sword and knife play too.
Sword and knife
It's
play.
a really fun hobby. I highly recommend everybody try. Really, everybody should try just a little bit at some point in their lives, whether it's just the simple spanking with their spouse or just anything to liven things up a little bit.
Yep. Someone was saying, "Oh, I want some Charles in my life." Awesome. I thought it was a voice masker. No, we have not been using voice maskers, I don't think. Okay.
Nope, I just have a sore throat.
Yeah, Megan was a little worried that her voice is gonna give out, but
Yeah. 2 days ago, I could not speak at all. So,
do you Charles Dom men at all?
I've worked with men. I'll work with anybody. If a space alien got on a cross, I'd work on them. I don't care. I'm not sexually attracted to men.
Mm-hmm.
I have worked with couples, which means I'm working with the husband or the boyfriend as well as the female component.
Right.
I'll work with them together on the same cross or separately.
Right.
So,
I tend to work primarily with women. It's really about a 2/3, 1/3 relationship between men and women for me.
2/3, 1/3?
Yeah, 2/3 women, 1/3 men.
Right. Cool. Do you feel clients first try to become regular partners, mixing up private and professional?
I'm real clear about what I will and will not do with somebody.
Yeah, I establish rules right up front before we do anything. I really know everybody really well before I play with them at all, whether it's a professional client or even just one of my regular subs. The only time I really don't know a person is when we're doing demos, and then in that case, we really restrict what we do to keep it very light. We will not exceed certain limits because we really have to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think this is a good place to wrap it up. I think we covered a lot of ground. Thank you so much. This has been pretty amazing. Any last thoughts that you want to share with Charles or Megan? You should do your own scopes about that in the future, people are saying. Thank you for your generosity. Yeah, I agree. I really think you should do some of those demos. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Someone's saying, I feel like I've seen these two before. Well,
actually, you may have. If you're in the Bay Area, we've been seen by many people.
I think I've been in about 8 or 9 documentaries.
Oh.
Yeah, we've done a lot of like radio and TV and you name it. We've been on everything, so.
Is there any place that people can find you if they want to get in touch with you?
I'm on FetLife, Mistress Xmas.
Awesome. Do you have a podcast?
No.
Not yet.
I will probably start scoping and doing maybe some classes.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's
Or
some
at least discussions.
Mistress Xmas or Xmas? Xmas, right?
Xmas is the current handle, yeah.
Same as your Periscope.
Exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. I'm going to flip this around and say goodbye, but if you want to stay and we can chat a little bit for a second.
All right. Great. Everybody.
Yeah. Awesome. So thanks everyone for being here. This was, I think, super fun and eye-opening for many of you. If you think that this would have been fun and interesting for other people to see, please feel free to invite your followers or take a minute to do that. And they can watch the replay. Thanks, Chad. I'm glad you liked it. But yeah, this is pretty awesome, right? And we're gonna have more discussions about BDSM and fetishes and all of that because I think it's a topic that a lot of people are really curious about. So yeah, thank you. I'm glad you found this a good scope, and I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna finish up that giveaway that I've been talking about. And we're also going to do some Q&A stuff that I often do on the weekends. Yes, there will be more. There will be more, I promise. All right. Well, if you don't follow already Dr. Jana, please make sure you press that Perry number down there and click follow next to my name. And I will see you again very soon. I come back daily and do daily scopes about sex-related topics. Thank you, everyone. I will see you soon.